Live. I'm your host, Aurea McGarry, and I'm so excited to be able to come back live on Facebook because, like I said, sometimes those technical issues makes that hard to do, but we're giving it a whirl today, because I have these beautiful, wonderful celebrities next to me that I did not want my Facebook friends to miss. I have celebrity moms, hosts and founders of the hit show In the Burbs. If you have not seen that, you are missing out because we all need to laugh more these days. And we have Amy Lyle and Gina Riles with me today. Welcome.
Hey.
Hello. Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Oh my God, I'm so excited you could be here with me because you are such a breath of fresh air.
Oh.
And now more than ever, we all need to take those breaks and find time to relax, to self-heal, I see a lot of self-help going on nowadays with people doing yoga and facials, whatever they can do to just kind of regroup. And I think moms, we're the most neglected part of society because we're always trying to help everybody else. Besides our families and our kids and our neighbors and just everybody, we tend to forget, oh wait, I need something. And I think laughter and friendship is so uplifting. So that's one reason I'm so glad. I want to make sure you all were live today because I get more people that will watch this now live. So hey to everybody, if you're watching live, give us a comment, tell us where you're watching from. And these women are so much fun. Amy and Gina, tell us real quick about you and your In the Burbs show, which is so much fun.
In the beginning, where do we begin?
In the beginning, I was going to do a show by myself, and I was going to have different co-hosts, and Gina was my first co-host. I was like, okay, we're going to go and do a run-through. And then I did a run-through. I'm like, there's no way I can train a new co-host every time. Gina, do you want to be my permanent co-host? And we'll call it In the Burbs. And she said, yeah.
That was it. Basically that. Yeah. I said, are you sure, Amy? I don't know what I'm doing. She goes, I don't either. It'll be fun. I said, okay. So here we are, almost a year later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Amy, what was your premise? Like, we always tell people you need to have a why. Like, why were you even going to do this? What was going to be your point of doing this? Just because you felt like it?
Things. It was kind of a bucket list for both
Gina of us,
and
really.
I. As you know, Ray, because you're a guest there frequently too. I've been on Atlanta Company a million times. It was so fun, and I wanted to do more of that. And Gina actually wanted to be a broadcasting major, and her dad's like, no, you're going to be a teacher.
Right.
So she always loved that.
This was always something I wanted to do, and we would talk about it. I knew Amy was more so in the business more than I was, and we were neighbors, and we were tennis partners back in the day. And I would say to her, with my coffee as she walked by with her dogs, I want to do a coffee talk, Amy. I want to do a coffee talk. She goes, yes, let's do it. One day we'll do it. And this is kind of what it is. But, we're not having our morning coffee. It's an afternoon talk.
Yeah.
But you're having your happy hour coffee.
It's a happy hour. Yeah, we need to bring in drinks. We haven't done that yet.
We need a sponsor.
Yes.
Hey, Sky Vodka. We're available.
There you go.
We'll drink.
Oh, I like Kettle One too. Is a really good one.
There you go.
We'll make some calls for you.
That's right. Thank you. We could use a few calls. It just kind of evolved, and then our show, as we sat down, we're both moms. We both have been married a long time, and Amy has a blended family. I just have a very old family, and we have so much to give.
We wanted to celebrate that.
We wanted to celebrate.
Yeah.
We want to celebrate women. We want to celebrate. We want to inspire women. We want to exactly, and your passion. And I think what we try to tell people, which I know you say this, Aurea, your purpose is your passion, and just find out what that is. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to be 25. You can be 35, 45, 55, 65 when you decide to write the book or do a talk show. And so that's what we're trying to tell women on our show. And we bring on guests that are also inspiring, that also have had similar, things happening to them in their lives.
Or it could be, we have men and women, a lot of women, but we have men on the show.
We do have men on the
show. As long as they have a message, sometimes it's like starting a business or changing your mindset. Like we have Eric Reed on our show. Sometimes he's a coach, and he's like, you got to change your mindset. This is how you do it. So it's all about empowering women. Very, very little politics. We try to just stay out of that, and
especially these days.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's hard to do right now.
But just stay positive. positive. And we've had so much fun because, as you know, sometimes when you have guests on your show that you barely know, you click with them and then you become friends with them forever.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So that's been really fun. And no one's mean to you if you're inviting them to be on a show and you love their work and you want to celebrate it. Even if they say, no, I'm not going to come on your show, they're usually very nice about it. We haven't had anyone say no. But we've got some exciting guests. Like we've had Karen White, who's a New York Times bestseller, coming up. We have the Chicken Soup for the Soul, not Amy, but the founders, Mark and Crystal, coming on.
But do you have you mean Mark Victor Hansen?
Yes.
I love him. He endorsed my book way back when.
Really? We're so excited to have him.
Yeah, so they're coming on. So that's
when's he coming on your show?
He's coming on in July.
Yeah. Is he going to be in the studio or
he's swimming in with his wife?
Oh, I need to make sure I'm a part of that or call in because I would love to say hi to him again.
Absolutely. Yes.
Such a nice guy. Really big thinker and just really, he was on to the video testimonials before video testimonials were a thing. He was keeping us back.
Way ahead of his time.
Really, really good.
Yeah. Expanding
lots of comedians too.
Yeah,
Amy knows tons of comedians, so we've had them come on, which is always fun. And comedians are interesting because you never know what you're going to get.
Right.
Oh, that's for sure. That's what happens when that's what I was hoping with Amy today. You know, you just never know.
You never know what you're going to get.
Right. Sometimes they're like actors and they don't.
Oh, here.
They're not funny unless they have a script in front of them. You think they'd be funny on the fly, but they're not. But that's okay.
That's okay.
It's all good. Well, tell me on your show. I know you have all these great different guests, and you have a premise to either make them laugh or give them tips and life tips. Right. What's some of your favorite tips along the way that you've gotten on the show? Maybe that surprised you or that were really good, really aha moments.
I think Becky Robinson was a great guest because she's a publicist. And so she, like you were speaking of earlier, there's a lot of tools that help you automate social media. So we do spend a lot of time talking about how can you improve your business? How can you have efficiencies? What should you do? And we have business owners on there. And so as a publicist, she was like, hey, there's some things that you can do to automate your social media, including like a Hootsuite, which is a scheduling tool that you can post across different platforms. So that was, I think, a really good show for people that are like, oh my gosh, I'm going to Twitter and doing this, and then Instagram, and then LinkedIn, and then Snapchat. And so you can automate that. So she also gave a tip that you're a very good storyteller of what's your story before you start slapping stuff on social media. You've got to have what's the story that you're going to tell, and you have to stick with that story. And we gave some examples of that, like our friend Lisa Odie. It has 257,000 followers on Instagram. You know why? It's cookies and cakes.
Everybody loves cookies and cakes.
Wait, you don't have to say anymore. You had me at cookies and cake.
And her photography is amazing. You can just scroll and you just and you get sucked in when
she'll stay true to that because if you had all that and all of a sudden you see steak and potatoes or a lobster, you throw everything off. So you stick in your lane. And I hear that all the time, like from Warren Carlisle, who's got about 270,000 files, same thing. But he does do the Octopus Fan Club. And it's all about that. And you don't put other things on there that don't make any sense.
Yeah. And I think another thing that we've learned through all of this, and we've been told, and from lots of successful business people across the way, that you have to know your audience. And networking is so important. But we have had to learn who our audience is. I think we know who it is now.
Who's your audience?
It's suburban moms, middle age,
let's be specific. What's middle age? The middle of what?
Right.
What's middle age? Let's be real specific, because this is a point I tell my clients too. Being specific with your avatar, specific with your demographic, not just suburban wives or suburban women or middle age. Be specific. Tell us more about your demographic.
40 to 65. I would say that's our demographic.
Oh, then I have to stop watching you.
No. I'm sorry.
I'm so passive.
We should have talked. We should have talked earlier, Ray. I'm really sorry. But yeah, we think that's our demographic. And we know that, I have friends in that age bracket. Amy is, we're barely there ourselves.
We're working on it, creeping up.
Barely there. But we know our audience. So anyway, and
as you should.
It helps with the material that we gather. It helps with our guests.
Everything.
Everything.
You shouldn't even start anything without knowing who you're talking to. And Amy, this brings it back to you. We were talking, in the green room before we started about knowing your audience and having to pursue it like what you did. You just got a very big bucket list item crossed off your vision board.
Yes.
And because you know your audience, you're able to pursue it. Tell us a little bit about that big bucket list item you're able to check off your list.
Like you and Gina, I'm a TED Talk junkie. And going into when I wrote my books, I started getting invited to do speaking engagements. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is the Super Bowl of speaking engagements? TED Talk. And it was really hard for me honing my message, and it took a long time because it does have to be a unique idea. Mm-hmm. And so it took about 100 applications. The average is 86. And
wait, go back to that. The average is 86.
Average is 86. I didn't know that.
86
what? Applications?
86
yeah, who knew? I know.
Average.
Oh my gosh.
And I
have no idea.
Events were canceled, and so it just events that you applied to were getting delayed, and so whatever. But then I finally landed a really great one. It's Beacon Street in Boston. They're fantastic.
TEDx Talk.
TEDx Talk. So I'm very excited.
And what's your? I know you can't tell us what it is, but what's your like title or unique idea?
No, I can tell you what it is. So it's what does not kill you will make you laugh. The healing power of humor. And so it's a combination of how that's been very a survival mechanism for me, coming from a childhood that wasn't very funny, to some scientific studies about how it's so healing, connecting with humanity. That's what it's about. So it's going to be a funny talk. There's humor in it.
Sure.
Not
the power of
right.
humor
it's
and
not
how
me,
it's healing.
Right. It's not me doing stand-up comedy.
No, that's not what TEDx is anyway. So that's great. We're so excited. Let us know when that comes out. And I know now with all this quarantine and COVID that you were saying, I know ours got rescheduled. Ours was supposed to be May, but now it's November 20th, 2020. But you're saying yours doesn't even have an event, that it goes right to the YouTube, which is where it lives anyway. So that's interesting to see how the world's changing from events to staying with this virtual. And we all need to get on this bandwagon. So it's a little tip I want to give right now as people are watching. Whatever you're doing, make sure you have a virtual element to it, a virtual way to see your clients, a virtual ways to get out your knowledge. And that can be social media. It doesn't always have to be video, but virtual is not going away, because there'll be a lot of times now for a long time we won't be gathering in bigger events, but you'll get even more viewers, even more people hearing about you and knowing about you virtually now. So it's time, if you haven't yet, get in the social media game, get in the virtual space. If you don't know how, that's when you connect with people like me and coaches that show you how to do that, because it's very, very important.
Yeah, you get to mix it up. I had a lot of fun on the What Women Want call when I was a guest. And you can't really do stand-up comedy in the middle of the day. Stand-up comedy is intimate. Normally have a cocktail, it's dark. And so I had to kind of modify it so it wasn't like ba-dum-bum punchline, but it was still really fun. And it was like a sit-down comedy, which was a little different.
That's cool, sit-down comedy.
Yeah. Sit down, I like that.
Yeah.
Sit down, that's what we're doing. Sit-down comedy.
And so instead of punchlines, I modified it to be more funny stories. And I think people really had fun, and it was a break from a sales pitch or whatever. But
that's why I had you
have to modify what you're doing, because being live is a different thing than being virtual. So you have to modify your message a little bit sometimes.
The new world that we're living in, virtual reality, and then of course you can wear a nice cute dress with flip flops. And you're good to go.
You don't even have to have pants on. Pants are optional.
That's right. I love that part of it. But it's so much
and look at us. We got all three little black tops. I didn't even realize that.
We're all we're color coordinated.
And we're probably all three naked from the waist down. Nobody will know.
Oh, didn't even shave my legs today. Who cares? Right? But I will say, talking about how we started this show together, and it in the beginning, I think about how nervous we were, how green we were, how much we did. It was a hot mess. We were a hot mess. Literally
that's how you start.
Hot mess. But we've come so far. We've grown. We're still learning. We still say that we're a work in progress, and that will be always, right?
Always.
But Amy brought her humor and her knowledge of already writing books, and I think for me, it's funny because I've been a fitness instructor probably 25 years. I just had my 15-year anniversary teaching jazzercise yesterday.
Look at you go.
I know, right? And then prior to that, I taught, and jazzercise has been around for over 50 years. It gets a bad rap, but it is the
Anything
most
that's
fun.
exercise. I love Zumba, but I used to do jazzercise
It's
too.
not like Zumba, but it's been around longer. And it's,
Yeah.
you know, the women that I have met over the years have inspired me so much. They keep me going every day. And during this whole, you know, unprecedented times, as we like to say, you know, we were doing live streaming with our classes and we weren't able to go in the studio. And we just started back in the studio. And I have to tell you, I didn't realize how much I missed it, just seeing everyone face to face. And they missed us, we missed them. And it's part of that camaraderie that, you know, unfortunately we don't get to do that right now. But that inspired, those women have been a part of my legacy and what has motivated me to do this show with Amy, you know, and just kind of continue to inspire women without being sweaty.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Gina, I'm going to give you a quick tip on that because I've been wanting to do jazzercise, Zoom, and everything, but it's so hard, even before COVID, to get to the gym with my busy schedule. And then by the time you get there, drive there, the whole 9 yards. If you can do some kind of virtual on a regular basis, like a free class to people, I would say shut-ins. It's a lot of us that are shut in, just not by choice, just by work, schedule, whatever. But we'd love to tap into it. Even if it's not a membership site, it's just like you can do it once a week with you live virtually. And it's a way for people to kind of tap into you. And then you tell them where you do it live. And it's that freebie that we all give of our knowledge and of our talents. If you're doing that, I know there's a bunch of people, not just me.
I will tell you, I teach with Alpharetta North Point Jazzercise. You can go online and find them, and we are still offering virtual classes along with in studio. So because I'm a franchisee, I'm kind of connected to that studio.
Oh, perfect. We'll put the link in.
Anybody can go in Alpharetta North Point Jazzercise and sign up, and they can still just take the online. I think we're offering at least 3 online a day.
Really?
Plus 3 in studio a day. And if you join, you have access to Jazzercise on Demand, which is coming from the corporate, where you have tons of live streaming.
There you go. That's perfect.
There's so many ways to get.
All right, put that link in the comments.
On.
All right, put the link in the comments, and then when I put this up on YouTube, I'll put it in the description. That's fantastic.
I will do that. Yeah, my ladies would love for your ladies to come and join us. That would be great.
Oh, it would be so much fun. So much fun. All right, well.
So many shout outs, Aurea.
We do.
Something that changed our lives too, which people are sometimes resistant to do because they don't have time, is the networking piece of it.
Yes.
Yeah, networking.
So it's like, Gina, we've got to make a commitment to this. And it's like you meet amazing women. We've had the women on our show as guests. We also have had women approach us that want to be sponsors. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, you're my target audience. I want to reach women 40 to 65. They have the money. That's who has the money. Or is that group. And so from real estate agents to roofing companies to insurance companies to orthodontists, it's just been like, and so we had a whole segment on that about networking and how to make the most of it. And even though it's virtual right now, we're encouraging people get involved.
I've done better virtual than even before in person, because now when we're virtually doing our What Women Want meetings several times a month, and then we have our other ones that are eWomen, and now I've got people in our meetings that are from Australia, California, Canada. We had 2 on Canada just yesterday. I would never have met these wonderful business owners if it wasn't for virtual. So we're not stopping virtual because we don't want to just all of a sudden say bye to all of our long distance friends, because realistically, when am I going to get to Australia? Yes, it's on my bucket list.
Exactly.
But being able to see somebody from Australia, my dear friend, she's so sweet, such a great business owner, and I get to see her every month, on our virtual. So we're not stopping that. So you're right.
I think that's fantastic.
Follow up is key. You got to follow up. So you have all this fun on networking online, but then you need to be taking notes and following up. And we're chatting with each other on our Zoom calls and saying, let's make a date, let's talk. And then we actually do it. We text each other, okay, let's talk. And then you do a private Zoom coffee date, like immediately. So those next 3 days should be lots of coffee conversations with people that you just want to get to know. And it's not always, I know exactly what I want you for, or you need me, or I need you. Sometimes it's not. Just, I really liked your energy. Let's have coffee. And then you realize on that that follow-up that one, either you're just going to be friends, which is fine too, prefer people to each other because there's no way you guys could ever work together. It's not a match. Or what happened to me was I found out somebody that I've known for years actually was a perfect fit for me to hire, and it was my missing piece. But I never got it when she would introduce herself that that's what she did. So by having that conversation,
it's hard to get lost in the shuffle on the Zoom call. You're in maybe the wrong corner or something.
Well, I've known her in person for years, and just I've never realized there was a piece of her business that was never really talked about that I didn't even know she did.
Yes.
And I've known her probably 10 years.
And it's the same, since we're in this community, it's been so nice, like other vloggers or bloggers or mommy influencers or people that have shows have reached out, and we're like, oh, this person made a fabulous guest and they're promoting a book. I think they would make a fabulous guest for you.
Right.
And
we
so
share. We love to share our guests.
That was a message too. It's like, if you're being invited or you want to be on a show, the impact of that can be very residual. Show up on time, be gracious, be lovely, and you will get invited back, or we will love you and say, this is a great guest. And so and we've been so lucky. We've only had 99% of them have been fabulous, but like the 1% that's not fabulous, if you think we're not going to tell someone, I wouldn't have them as a guest.
Right, exactly. I tell everybody that the best form of communication marketing is tell a woman, because we
that's true.
love you, we don't love you, but you're going to know either way whether we loved you or didn't love you. So,
yes.
Well,
well, and another thing, I'll tell you, you talked about our show and what we like to do. One of our favorite things that we like to do, we've got two favorite things. First of all, our picks of the week. We love to talk about what we're watching, what we're reading. Yeah, especially in this world of, everyone staying home and Netflix binging and Hulu and Prime. We both have our list that we love to share. And then lately, a new segment that we started, which I think we're going to do again, which we really had fun with, was our favorite things, where we got to share our favorite things: hair product, makeup, what else, Amy? Different clothing lines that we love. And that was really popular. And I think women, especially,
we love to share.
They love to share. And I always find out, I look at someone and I go, wow, where did you get that job? Or look at your skin. Your skin looks fabulous. What are you wearing? What are you doing? And that's another way of networking.
Absolutely. And do you know, because I was in Mary Kay for 20 years, and I learned so much around these women in success, and Mary Kay Ash herself. And I learned something from the mouth of Mary Kay, and she was so right when she told us, she looks at us, and when we are the worst at taking a compliment. So if I go to Amy, Amy, I just love your necklace. First thing we do is, I got a TJ.
This whole thing.
It's only $5. And
I do that.
He told us, take the compliment and
that's
shut up. But it goes back to what you're saying, favorite things, because we're so inept to tell you that we got a deal on it, to share with you, here's where I got it, you can have one too. Instead of, oh, thank you, you can't have one. I'm big fake. Or my watch, yes, it looks like it's a Rolex. It is. We're not like that. We're like, oh my gosh, isn't it beautiful? I got it on sale. That's just what we do. So by
and we really love doing that. I mean, we're all about that. I mean, this one will say, I found this dress at Neiman Marcus, but then I found it at Walmart for $19.99. I'm getting it. She did find a dress.
Donna Karen.
She did. True story.
Just the other day on Neiman Marcus last call, and I wanted it. They were out of it. And I was like, I love this dress. Where else? Aurea. It was $28 on Walmart.com.
Oh yeah, baby.
Donna Karen dress.
Yeah.
And so I put the picture of, it was cheaper at Walmart than it was on Posh.
And I would never even think to look at Walmart for that.
Only because I put the Donna Karen stripe zip.
Hey, you never know.
It came up, and I was like, oh my gosh, this Neiman Marcus is selling the same dresses.
Oh, that's the best tip of the day. I love it. Well, I want everybody to watch your show in the burbs, because obviously there's great tips, great lists. So on that note, as we end, I just want to ask you a couple of real quick questions. Like, if you could have one guest on your show, who would that? And you both get one. So both of you, if you could have one guest that's out of reach, I mean, it doesn't have to be like a big celebrity, but like maybe a mid-celebrity. There's somebody maybe within your reach, because I'm all about referrals. I'm all about helping people get what they want. And that goes back to what women want as well. So tell me, if you could have anybody on your show, besides me, you've already had me on your show. Okay. Who's your next big person that you'd love to have on your show? Male or female?
And it's interesting. I think we can get her, Jenny Lawson. She's one of my favorite humor writers. And I did interview her because I write for a magazine, My Forsyth magazine. And I was able to interview her, you know, via email. I just sent her the questions and she sent them back because that's okay. It's a magazine. And so I did. I have made friends with her sister, Lisa, and she's her publicist. And I was like, hey, this worked well. Would you like to just Zoom in for 15 minutes and talk about Jenny's projects? And she's very introverted, so the email thing works. So we'll see how she is on Zoom. But Jenny Lawson, I love her so much. I would love to have her.
And it's Jenny, Jenny.
Yes, Jenny Lawson. And her book is Let's Pretend This Never Happened. Aurea, I read it. I try to read it to my husband, and I'm laughing so hard that I'm crying. I can't even read it.
Put that in the comments too. We want to know about that. We love to laugh. All right, cool. Gina, who's your number one person next?
No, I've said it a million times. I want Leanne Morgan. She's a stand-up comedian.
Both love comedians. I love it.
Okay, check her out. Check her out. I love her stuff. She's a kind of a southern comedian. She's from Knoxville, Tennessee. She talks about her children and she calls them her babies and they're yummy and everything's yummy. And I was supposed to see her. Actually, you were going to go with me here in Atlanta on July 17th, but I haven't heard. I'm pretty sure her concert's been postponed. Yeah. She's really taking off. Funny, talks about things that are pertinent to us, especially our show and our listeners. Okay. You know, menopause, the whole night. She's hilarious. Check her out.
We'll get her on Zoom.
Murphy.
Oh, well.
Or Kevin Hart.
Well, there you go.
She's really reaching now.
Oh my God. Well, you can reach all you want. Well, with my Live Your Legacy Summit for 3 years, I so wanted Jeff Foxworthy at my
Atlanta.
Yeah, but not just because he's a great comedian, but because he's such a philanthropist, and I wanted to honor him for his philanthropy. And I kept being 1 degree away from him. Like I would meet so many people, like, oh yeah, he's my neighbor. Oh yeah, my friend. It's like, okay, well, everybody. Me. But I was like you, Amy, when it came to persistence, it was just something top of mind. I really wanted to honor him because he fed the homeless in Atlanta. He was a big part of our community, and he's very well known. So it's just somebody that we just love, Jeff. Come to find out, through it all, I ended up meeting his wife, who is such a doll, Greg, which turned into not only Jeff coming to my summit and his wife, we honored his beautiful daughter for her philanthropy with kids in Africa. It all worked out because you have to think about it before it can come. Like think about it, to dream about it, think about it, let it come to pass.
And that's a networking tip too, Aurea, is be specific. Mm-hmm. You can't say this product's good for anyone. That doesn't help me.
No. Skincare. You have skin.
Right.
You have to know what's next. Because you guys are already successful. So that's why I'm asking, like, what's next? Because I want you to always be thinking, and you should always think about what's next right before you hit that goal. Like right now, you're about to be a TEDx speaker. You haven't donned the stage yet. So now what's next? So that's done. It hasn't happened yet. But what's your next? And get something else on. You've crossed that up your list. Put something else on there that's just as big. Because
I don't know. Emmy Awards? I don't know.
It doesn't have to be an award. It can be anything. You want to syndicate this show, or you want
yes.
next step. You want Coca-Cola as your sponsor. It's the next.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, could be more doable.
Thanks, TJ Maxx.
Okay. So get those on your list. It's the next step. Because if you're not, you can't follow a parked car. And if you're parked and you're like, okay, you're not moving. So get that moving for sure.
That's great advice, Aurea.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yes.
Since we're in COVID, what's been your favorite guilty pleasure during this quarantine?
Dead to Me. And Harry Potter. I'm on the 5th.
Did you finish Dead to Me?
I finished Dead to Me too.
I love it. So clever. Good. And then
it's a show, in case nobody knows what Dead to Me is. It's TV.
On my 5th Harry Potter, read the book. It's been my indulgence.
Yeah.
What is it?
Read. Good for you. Whoa.
Oh
yeah. Yes.
I like TV.
I would have to say, Dead to Me, I actually watched it twice because I had to rewatch it with my husband.
Okay.
And loved it. You know, this was so bad. And every Tiger King, I mean, who did not? Did you watch?
It was horrible. I hate it.
It was horrible. That's why it was a guilty pleasure. It was It was a train wreck that you couldn't stop.
It really was. I was just waiting and I'm glad I knew at the end what had happened to him, because it was making me crazy, because I'm the biggest animal lover in the world, and I could not stand watching this. But I was like, I had to finish it.
I had to finish it.
I'm like, what the heck?
Oh, and I watched.
What the heck?
I did watch.
Yeah, I just finished
Jeff.
Yeah, that was rough. That was rough.
It? I don't know which one.
Harvey what?
No. Oh yes. Oh no, I watched
Harvey.
15 minutes. I could watch it. I watched 15
Harvey Weinstein.
Jeff Epstein.
There you go.
Epstein. It was the Epstein one I watched a few minutes of. I really had a hard time with that. You know, here's all right. Since you brought it up, all right. It happened to be on, you know, how Netflix has like recommended stuff, and that Epstein thing was there. And I was bored for a moment, and so I clicked it on. It was during the day, so I'm just gonna put stuff on just for the background, not like I'm watching. And I put it on for a minute, and tell me if this didn't bother you, and it just made me crazy. This was back in the 80s or something, and a 15-year-old girl, and I might be in trouble for this, but I'm just gonna say it, was allowed to go to a man's house.
Right.
The wife was there and just be there without the parent. I don't even know who her parents are or whatever, so I'm not down there. But I'm like, my daughter's 15. She doesn't go anywhere without me. And then to go to Europe, I don't care if it is a husband and wife team, because they were in it together. I kept thinking, where's her parents? And
it was really messed up. And I
think
it was down in Palm Beach. What I didn't realize until I watched it is there were some low socioeconomic areas that these kids were coming from, and they were abused.
She looked well off. She looked, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to get into that.
They wanted the money. It was the money. I'm afraid. Sadly, I think they were.
You couldn't offer me enough money to take my little girl anywhere.
I know. No. I totally agree with you.
I just understand. And I was that age in the 80s. My mom wouldn't have let me go. I mean, we were so
you insane?
And we knew celebrities all, but see, that's the problem though, when people get powerful and celebrity. And I understand being a parent. A parent might say, well, there, of course, back in the 80s, people didn't really know what we know today, how bad it can be.
No social media.
Sure, go. It's you're in good hands. We know of them. So I get it, but it was just bothering me in the beginning. I couldn't even watch it. It's like,
it was tough. It was tough.
Where's her mama? I know.
I agree.
The sad part, those young ladies said, well, this was better than what was going on at my home.
Mm-hmm.
I was more, at least I knew what the ground rules were at Jeffrey Epstein's. I knew what was happening at my house. There's no stability. There's no this. They were, some of them were already getting sexually abused.
Right.
And so it's heartbreaking. But anyway,
I know. We won't touch that with a 10-foot pole, but it is eye-opening to see what really happened. I did not realize the severity of all of that. But on a happy note, a good show that if you want to binge something, Aurea.
Besides In the Burbs.
Well, of course you can binge In the Burbs. Yellowstone with Kevin Costner, season 3. This Sunday night. It was on the Paramount Network, which is kind of a Paramount Network. Yellowstone, Kevin Costner.
Oh, my husband, I think, watches Yellowstone.
Season 3 this Sunday night. Okay. I think you can catch up season 1 and 2 on Hulu, I think.
Okay, cool. I mean, I watched Ozark, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
of course,
we watched it. I'm going to give a shout out to Aurea and I have a mutual friend, Autumn Bailey.
Oh, Autumn, yes, Autumn Bailey.
Mine 9, like a coal mine. Mine 9. It's a great drama. It's maybe 90-minute film.
Oh, nice.
On Netflix. It's great.
Perfect. Well, let's put some links in the comments, and then I'll put them on the YouTube description. We'll do all that. We'll be watching In the Burbs, find out all your updated lists, which are great. And one thing that I know that was my guilty pleasure during the COVID was I love to bake with my girls. I've been baking too much. It seems like it's just fun. I normally never have time to do that except the holidays. We've been getting there and we've been baking, and Pinterest has been my friend just to kind of go in and get new recipes. And I just need to stop now because I'm not going to fit in my chair any longer. So it's time to stop the guilty pleasures.
I've gained a COVID-19.
I have a new friend now, and her name is Jenny, and it's Jenny Craig. So we have become really tight over the last few weeks. So there you go.
Mine's with Catherine, Simple Fat Burn.
That's right.
Getting this back off, and
she has a great program too. That's an awesome program. Yeah,
it really is. All right, ladies, well, you've been fabulous. I could talk to you all day. We will put your links in our comments. Go over there. We'll have a watch party. Because I think it's fun. This could be somebody's guilty pleasure, just to watch my success talk. You're In the Burbs, and watching us both together, just hashing it out and having some fun and talking, getting our mind off the weight of the world, which we do need to know about. We do need to be active in, but sometimes we just need to have some self-care and just do those guilty pleasures and get our mind off of all the severity.
It's not important. Doesn't mean we're not thinking about
it. That's right.
You need to take a break and renew your mind, or
balance.
You can't keep working on those tough issues.
Sometimes you have to turn it off and and have a little
and
fun.
Laugh for a minute.
Yes.
And
sure.
it's funny, people that work a 9 to 5, which is so much more rare now that because most people I know are entrepreneurs, we tend to work 24/7, which means we tend to care 24/7. We care about, and we're activists 24/7, and we're philanthropists 24/7. We're just always on because we don't know, we haven't, I know I haven't clocked in and clocked out in God 40 years, so we don't come home where we can be home. It's always part of our life. So we have to really work on taking the self-care time, even if it means sit down and you watch your favorite show that has nothing to do with, current events or anything else. Because yes, you're going to be involved. You're going to help. We're all going to make a difference and live our legacy. But it's like taking that hot bath. You have to do it. You have to read your favorite book.
Me time.
Something for you. And moms, and you guys are in the burbs. You are the suburban moms that we needed to share this. Don't feel guilty for taking care of you. Don't wait till the kids graduate from high school. Don't wait till they graduate from college. Don't wait till anything. Today, even if it's 10 minutes, do something for you to recharge. Because Mary Kay Ash always told us, you cannot fill a cup with an empty teapot. If there's not good, hot water in this teapot, you're going to pour out nothing into the cups of the people you love.
True.
Absolutely.
So stay filled up. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. And
I'll
we'll
be on
see
your
you
show.
soon on In the Burbs. You're coming back.
I can't wait. We'll be in the studio for the first time. I've been in the studio for like forever. So, except for Atlanta Live. Are you back in the studio now or not?
Yeah,
You
we
can
are.
choose. You can choose whatever you'd like to do.
You can Zoom or come in.
I'm coming to your studio.
Okay.
All right, we want you there.
In too
We
long.
want the blonde in between the brunettes. How about that?
Perfect. Yeah. Well, I'll try to make sure there's less of me by then. It'll be in July. Thank you, ladies, so much. In the Burbs. Don't miss it. Thank you, Amy,
Thank you.
for being here. Love you. Until next time, make sure you earn more so you can live more, so you can give back more. Have a blessed day. See you on the other side.
Bye.